Hello everyone, welcome back. This is the second training video about scientific reading with me, Hatice Bilgiçlim. I am excited to be with you in this second video. You may remember from the introduction, there are 3 sections in this training. In this and next coming videos, we will go over the first section, which is about the scientific reading process. This section covers the specific steps of the scientific reading process. The process is divided into 3 parts: pre-reading, reading, and post-reading. In this video, we will get started with the brief overview of all 3 of the steps. Then we'll look into pre-reading in detail. Here you can see the contents of the scientific reading process. The pre-reading includes search and scan. This is to identify the reading material. Once you have the material to read, you can move into the second part. The steps here are focusing, finding the purpose and depth for your reading, and then actively reading. The third and the last part is post-reading. This involves summarizing, filing, and using the outcomes from your reading for your next steps. Please keep in mind that this can be a nonlinear process for some readers. Some of these steps may be overlapping and can be done simultaneously. For example, you may be summarizing and filing while you're reading, and this is perfectly fine. The crucial point is to experiment and find the way that works the best for you, and then sticking with that. In the rest of this video, let's look into pre-reading steps in more detail. Before you can start reading, you need to have the material to read. Frequently, you're giving the material as part of a class or by your thesis advisor. Other times, you may be asked to do a search on your own and pick the articles or books that are most relevant for your purpose. Since the focus of this training is the reading process itself and not the search for the materials, we will go over a very simple example of literature search just for illustration purposes. However, if you have any questions about the search process, please let me know. We can cover them in the live Zoom sessions that are part of this training. Once you know what to read, the next step is to quickly scan the material to see whether it's relevant to your topic and your purpose. Now, let's put this into application and go over a simple search and scan example. Okay, here are the steps involved in a search for a publication or literature. The first thing to do is usually to go to a database. Usually, those databases houses articles related to your focus area. In this example, we will use a public database. This is well known in healthcare fields. It is called PubMed. You might have heard of it. The search is as simple as typing the search term in the box and then quickly scanning the article titles in the results. The last step is deciding which articles are related to your topic and then clicking on the ones that are most relevant to get them. Next, I will walk you through the screenshots of this process to provide you with more clarity. Here, in this example, you can see that I use the search term personalized medicine. I typed the search term in the box and that returned many articles. As a matter of fact, over 100,000 articles. I definitely need to pick the most relevant ones because it is simply impossible to work with all of the articles from the search. I do this using scanning. Scanning is taking a quick look at the titles and deciding which ones may be related to my topic the most. For the purposes of this training, I decided the most relevant article is the first one on the list. Next, I click on the title to download the article. Once you click on the title, PubMed brings you to a page with options to download. In this case, the article was free to download. If you click on the option for free download, you will see there is a link to PDF version. This is where you can get it for your own use. In fact, I highly recommend that you download this article and go over the steps on your own as an exercise. This will help you practice and develop your skills. If you run into any issues at all or have any questions, please let me know, and we will bring them to the live group sessions we will be having. Once you download the article and have the material to read, this brings you to the conclusion of the pre-reading part for your scientific reading process. This also marks the end of the second training video. This is work well done. In the next video, you are ready to move on to part 2, which is the action of reading itself. See you in the next one.